Today, all day, is going to be about blood sugar balancing and why it's so important in hormone balance. Right now, we're going to talk about what are some supplementation that's super helpful for blood sugar balancing and how they relate to hormones. Okay. And one of the things that I want to talk about is our product called Relaxer. And Relaxer is a flavorless powder. And I frequently will do this in the evenings. And sometimes I'll even mix a scoop of this into Golden Balance. Sometimes I just do this with a little bit of water. There's no flavor with it. But why would Relaxer be really helpful? Is because it's our powerhouse in our hormone essential line, because it is incredible for people who are dealing with PCOS, which is called polycystic ovarian syndrome, because people with PCOS really have a lot of problems with high insulin and insulin resistance. So they have terrible time dealing with blood sugar, and a lot of times that would manifest as sugar cravings and insomnia at night, either trouble falling asleep or trouble staying asleep. Now, it's not only PCOS people that actually struggle with low blood sugar or high and low blood sugar. People with estrogen dominance, where they have really high estrogen compared to progesterone, people around menopause time where their hormones are all going down around perimenopause or postmenopause, but if their progesterone goes down faster than estrogen, which is commonly the case, this abrupt drop in progesterone compared to estrogen can actually really create an increased sensitivity to blood sugar swings, high and low. So we're talking like women are dealing in the perfect shitstorm around perimenopause and menopause with blood sugar hell. And yet these very big swings in high and low blood sugar back and forth causes hormone production and balancing to stop and be interrupted in your body. So you can tell that hormone disturbance causes blood sugar imbalance. Blood sugar imbalance shuts down hormone balancing. So it's literally this vortex of hell that women in perimenopause and menopause can get into with blood sugar and hormone balance. So we can be talking about blood sugar balance in terms of PCOS, estrogen dominance, or we could be even talking about blood sugar balance in terms of just regular monthly menstrual cycle in regular cycling women and teenagers that are struggling with PMS, insomnia, with anxiety and palpitations at night. These are all blood sugar related symptoms in all times of a woman's life. And we're talking about female hormones here. In male hormones, there'll be men will have more problem with hormones linked to brain fog and insomnia in the middle of waking up in the middle of the night and having a lot of anxiety symptoms in the middle of the night. Now, Relaxer is not just for women. Men can absolutely take it. Men in our program take it all the time. Even children in our program take it because children actually have a lot of blood sugar problems. So what are the active ingredients that we're talking about? Is that we're talking about magnesium. Magnesium we've talked about before. Magnesium is a powerhouse in terms of it's actually a really important factor. It's a cofactor in many of the enzymes in your body to make energy, to make hormones, to detox your body. It needs magnesium. So taking some magnesium, and the right form of magnesium makes a big difference. What's the best form of magnesium to deal with sleep and mental health and blood sugar? Is actually it's actually a D form of magnesium, which is in Relaxer. So there's magnesium in here. It's about 75 milligrams. It's not a ton. It's just enough to actually help stabilize also the brain, the electrical current in the brain. So magnesium is very calming. So it's very helpful for sleep at night as well. Now, the other thing is inositol. I think you guys have probably heard a ton about inositol. And so in the form of inositol that is in Relaxer is myo-inositol. And there's been studies and data that have actually shown that myo-inositol can be extremely helpful in blood sugar balancing. And then also what happens is when you actually, and there are studies also more and more coming out with inositol, where it can help with hormone balance and sometimes dealing with fertility issues as well. So there's various mechanisms and forms of inositol that's extremely helpful in hormone balancing, but I love it, myo-inositol specifically for the blood sugar balancing at night. And then what else is amazing is there's GABA and there's L-theanine and taurine. So when you look at brain neurotransmitter support, what helps calm the brain, the neurotransmitters that you're talking about is going to be your GABA. GABA is really big, and supplements that support GABA production is going to calm the brain and anxiety and overthinking at night really well. So Relaxer is amazing because it has the taurine, it has the GABA, and it has L-theanine. These are all supplementation that directly help improve the function, the amount and function of GABA in your brain, which is really calming. So Relaxer is my go-to for anybody that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, or who has these hormone patterns of PCOS, estrogen dominance, or a lot of PMS symptoms. A scoop of that flavorless powder at night is super helpful. So Relaxer and to getting some myo-inositol in is super helpful. Tonight, you'll learn about the foods. And I have other videos that are talking about what are some food options and what are the food options that you can do at night that's super helpful to help with blood sugar at night as well. But today, right now, we're doing talking about supplementation, and Relaxer is incredible. It's a powerhouse for blood sugar balancing. Some of you are like, well, okay, you take that at night, but I feel like I have blood sugar problems all during the day. What are some things supplement wise that I can do? And I love Balancer. This is another, it's a capsule, so it's not a powder. People don't like doing a powder at night. They rather do something in the day. Balancers is really great, 2 capsules in the morning. Now, what is the kick-ass ingredients in Balancer that really is helpful for balancing blood sugar is 2. Number 1 is berberine. Berberine is my favorite supplement. Berberine has so many mechanisms in helping with blood sugar balance and anti-inflammatory, and it has anti-candida and fungal activity. So there is no downside to taking a ton of quality berberine. And in fact, higher dose berberine can be used by diabetics even instead of the medications like metformin, because some of the mechanisms of berberine is like a natural form of metformin. So I actually have a lot of diabetics in our program who have used Balancer, or pre-diabetics who have used Balancer instead of going on metformin or adding to the activity of metformin and other diabetes medications. Now, you don't have to be a diabetic to take this. In fact, most people taking Balancer are not diabetics whatsoever. There are people like you and I that are struggling with cravings for sugar. And we have these big energy crashes late morning or late afternoon that we know is blood sugar related. Balancer is amazing for that. So the berberine is the powerhouse here. And the second secret ingredient is actually decaffeinated EGCG, like green tea extract. Specifically, green tea extract, when it's from this plant, which is called Camellia sinensis, actually has really incredibly strong EGCG active ingredient. Green tea also is I can't even say enough good things about green tea, because when I think about green tea, unless you are sensitive to it and it causes you some agitation, the rest of us that can tolerate green tea, there's no downside to this. And I, in fact, do a ton of green tea myself. But to take it as a supplement, we're talking medicinal grade of kick-ass green tea, specifically from this plant source that I love. It is an incredible way to decrease blood sugar cravings, and it is an incredible way to balance your blood sugar. Green tea also decreases some of the negative effects that testosterone can have. So some of you dealing with acne, some of you dealing with a lot of trunk weight gain, some of you with darkening of the skin around the elbow area. These are all signs of like hypersensitivity to testosterone in your body. You don't have to have these things, but if you happen to, green tea is a wonderful supplement for you to take. And the other 50% of this product is actually this particular active form of green tea. I call it the kick-ass form of green tea. The other thing is green tea is an antioxidant, meaning is anti-cancer. And green tea is also an incredible liver detox, meaning it actually helps your liver, protects the liver and helps promote proper liver function to detoxify your body. So, and green tea also has tons of benefits in cardiovascular health. If you have heart issues, cholesterol issues, there's definitely some evidence that green tea is super helpful in cardiovascular disease. So I look at Balancer as a product that's for people with any sort of, if you have diabetes, hell yeah, you're going to take 2 every morning. If you have PCOS, you're going to take 2 every morning. If you're struggling with blood sugar cravings, take 2 every morning. Those are really really, if you have any sort of, if you have high blood pressure, if you have cholesterol issues, taking Balancer would be also a great addition to every morning. So there is, so that would be the multi 100 reasons why I love Balancer. The bottle's empty because I finished this bottle. So anyway, so these are two of my best and favorite blood sugar balancing products, which would be 2 of the Balancer in the morning, and then a Relaxer, 1 scoop at night, and the reasons behind the why. So I really love training people to understand the why behind some of their symptoms. And what I find is that when you understand that, well, how Lover works or how Balancer works or Relaxer works, some of the deeper questions that will be raised in you would be like, well, what is my hormone pattern? Right? What are the hormone problems I have, and what would be a targeted approach to it? What is my data? Which is why, for me, we have a program called My Hormone Masterclass, designed for you to be able to get your own data and testing done.